Martians discover America. This is Margaret Hartwood from the New York Times. Last night the Martians touched down in the backyard. They were oval and bright pink, with two ant-like antennae topped by eyes fringed with sea anemone lashes. They say they'd come to study America. Why ask me? I said. America is farther south. You are an observer, they said. Please tell us, does America have different flavor from that of other countries? Is it the center of the cultural world? How does it look to outsiders? America has always been different from Europe, I said, having begun as a utopian religious community. Some have seen it as a dream world where you can be what you choose. Others as a mirage that lures, exploits, and disappoints. Some see it as a land of spiritual potential. Others as a place of crass and vulgar materialism. Some see it as a mecca of creative entrepreneurs. Others as a corporate oligarchy where the big eat the small, and inventions helpful to the world are stifled. Some see it as the home of freedom of expressions. Others as a land of timorous conformity and mob opinion rule. Thank you, said the Martians after looking up thank you on translate.google.com. How may we best discover the essence of America? Well, through its literature would be my choice, I said, but I'm biased. Okay, said the Martians. What should we read first? Can we have marshmallows? Let's start with two stories by Natalie Hawthorne, I said. The Maple of Marymount and A Young Goodman Brown. Here are your marshmallows. Their pink antennae waved excitedly. They stored away the marshmallows as rare American artifacts. Then they read the stories very quickly, and as Martians do, of course. What does this mean to contemporary America? They asked. Well, in the Maple Marymount, I said, some people having a fun party in the wood are disrupted by the Puritans who consider them immoral. Both groups have come to America in search of freedom. The Marymounters interpret freedom as sexual and individual freedom. The Puritans as freedom to practice their own religion while outlawing the behavior of others. The fight is still going on in America. The same issue come up in every election. In my novel, The Handmaid's Tale, I added modestly, I've included them as freedom to and freedom for. We took that in high school, said the Martians. What about A Young Goodman Brown? Okay, so in Young Goodman Brown, I said, this Puritan goes for a walk at night and discovers that all his neighbors are relations, including his young wife Faith, are members of a satanic witchcraft group. He wakes in the morning wondering if he dreamed, but ever afterward he distrusts the neighbors, and so do all Americans, because how do you know whether the neighbors are who they claim to be? Every once in a while, America has a solemn time. In some quarters, it's liberalism or even evil green dragon environmentalists. The Martian decided to eat one marshmallow each to see what it tasted like. Their mouths were underneath. They dealt with food by hopping onto it. We can have popcorn now, Orville, Redenbachers, they said, and a Coke. How do you know about those things? I said. Well, we watch American TV and internet, they said. Like everyone else in the universe. Though American culture hegemony is slipping, we perceive Newly rich countries such as India and Brazil have developed their own mass media. Also, America's promise of democracy and egalitarianism, the mainstay of its cultural capital, widely understood, is being squandered. America's view is riddled with internal tensions that with vote suppressions, the economic inequality protested by Occupy Wall Street, the impact of the mortgage meltdown, and the public's loss of confidence in political institutions. So the popcorn? We can do the microwaving? They took out their ray guns. After you have read the next book, I said, it's Melville Moby Dick. Well, the Martian riffled through Moby Dick as top speed. Then they consulted translate.google.com for an expression that would best convey their reaction. Holy crap, they said. Does this mean that we think it means, they said? What do you think it means, I said. I'll do the popcorn myself. You might get the wavelength wrong. Moby Dick is about the oil industry, they said, and the ship of American state. The owners of the Pequod are rapacious and stingy religious hypocrites. The ship's business is to butcher whales and turn them into an industry energy product. The mates are the middle management. The harpooners, who are from races colonized by America, one way or another, are supplying the expert tech labor. Elijah the prophet from the American artist cast foretells the Pequod's doom, which comes about because the chief executive, Ahab, is a megalomaniac who wants to annihilate nature. Nature is symbolized by a big whale, which has interfered with Ahab's personal freedom by biting off his leg and refusing to be slaughtered and boiled. The narrator, Ishmael, represents journalists. His job is to warn America that it's controlled by psychotics who will destroy it because they hate the natural world and don't grasp the fact that without it they will die. That's enough literature for now. Can we have popcorn? After inhaling the popcorn, they slurped out their cokes, then asked me to take an Instagram on their cell phones of them with the bottles. Now we are going to Las Vegas to do some gambling, they said, because it's a very American thing. After that, we will buzz the Grand Canyon, and then we will go to Boot Hill Museum in Kansas and get pictures of ourselves dressed as a Wild West cowboys and honky-tonk floozies. I think you should be careful, I said. Why? The Martians asked. Forgive me for pointing this out, but you look a lot like diagrams of human female uterus, I said. Complete these fallopian tubes and ovarians. A human being might be insulting to be told this, but it didn't seem to bother the Martians. Having looked up uterus on translate.google.com, they said, isn't the uterus a good thing? The life force and so on. In some parts of America, I said, the men are obsessed with uteri. They feel that having one is potentially demonic. It's a hangover from young good brown if they saw you hopping around or still eating popcorn. They go completely berserk and pronounce you pregnant and put you in jail. Maybe we will go to the Radio City Music Hall instead, the Martian said. Good choice, I said. You won't stand out in New York, or not much. If anyone bothers you, accuse them of being spacist. Throw in that you are vegans. Okay, they said. When we get back to Mars, we will start an American book club. We wish to read David Foster Wallace, not to mention Edith Wharton and Raymond Carver, and tons of others. It is the writers who convey the inner truth about the nation despite themselves, yes? Will you join us on a video? A pleasure, I said. Any reader is a friend of mine. I think this article is a great lesson that Americans should learn about their own country. How we, from the outside world, see America and how Americans don't see themselves.